numbers, those are the numbers that you need. Joining us now are Dr. Josh Davis and Detective Chief Inspector Mick Neville to tell us about a new group of police officers dubbed the Super Recognisers. So I've never heard of this before. What are Super Recognisers?
Well, they're people who have extraordinary abilities in their sort of face recognition skills. They can perhaps see someone for a fleeting glimpse and then a long time later be able to recognise them, and certainly in the police, they recognise people in CCTV footage they may have arrested.
Because you quite often hear of sort of computer programs that you run things through and it can recognise face, but nice to know that actually the human brain is the best
Absolutely,
thing. Absolutely,
yes. They are right at the very top level of this ability, and it's quite uncanny how they perform in tests.
So how is this used within the police force?
Well, we've always had officers, and Sue will remember, those officers who know all the faces, but what we've made is more systematic. So with Josh's help, we've identified about 200 officers. So during the riots, for example, we had 4,000 images. One of the officers picked out 180 of those faces. If there's a serious crime, we know which officers to speak to first.
So these are people who they would maybe have come across the people who are on CCTV on their beat or in their job.
Absolutely.
And then you come back to a crime that's committed and said, do you recognise any of these people?
Well, the footage you've seen there with a guy covered almost like this, he was identified by PC Gary Collins from that, and he was eventually convicted and sentenced to 6 years.
Just by seeing his eyes?
Just by seeing.
So that, I mean, obviously sort of in the 2011 riots,
Yeah.
that must have been incredibly useful then.
Yes.
And well, Gary Collins, the PC Gary Collins you mentioned, he's the Hackney Gang Unit, isn't he?
Yes, that's right.
Made Cop of the Year.
He did, yes.
Policeman of the Year, and 190 faces recognised.
That's right, from the riots.
So some people have an extraordinary ability for this.
And it's just making it better use of it. So if there's a murder, we show it to those officers first, because if you show it to everybody, you get different names, you get your inquiry gets diverted. So by showing it to the best super recognisers first, we may solve the case much more quickly.
How do you identify a super recogniser?
Well, we have to do tests of face recognition on them, looking to see whether, for instance, you show them an unfamiliar face and then you ask them sometime later to try and identify that face amongst an array of highly similar looking faces, and the longer you make the delay, the more likely the person getting it right is going to be a super recogniser, and Gary Collins certainly can do that.
Yeah, he sounds
along with lots of other cops. He was a great jailer. Well, we want to test you today.
We'll be rubbish at this. I'm going to be rubbish at this.
We're going to show an image now.
Terrible.
Well, this is going to test you.
I can't recognise my wife in the
think you're going to be good
supermarket.
at this. I think he's going to be good at this. We're going to show you an image. So you're going to have a quick look at this for about 5 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
So here it comes up on the screen now. So have a look at that. Now you need to try and bear in mind, if you're in a traumatic, event, that would be very hard, if you're a victim of crime, trying to remember it.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do now is put some other faces up, about 8.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to try and do is tell us that first image, which one of
I know
the
which
8.
one he is.
Yeah. You both
8.
know.
Yeah, 8.
Right. I would say that's easy, because I would imagine
he's got
from the
the
mole
mole
face,
face.
that's quite easy to recognise, and he stands out, okay? Now we're going to make it a little bit more tricky for you.
Okay.
So there you go, there you have him. You've both got that one right.
Yeah.
Now we're going to make it a little bit more difficult. I think this one's more difficult, and I always thought I was good at this. So we're going to show you another image.
This could change my entire career, by the way.
It could be. You could be a super recogniser,
I know.
Holly. So here we have another image. Have a look at this one. Now, pay close attention. All right. And bearing in mind, again, as I said, in an event, it would be much more difficult.
Yeah.
So now we're going to show you some more images.
Sideways.
Now this is a bit more tricky. Do you?
Number...
Right.
Yeah,
Go
number 4.
I was going to go number 3.
Ah,
Which are you going, Holly?
3.
Right. Philip?
I thought number 4.
Oh, we're getting... Well, let me tell you...
Are we both wrong?
No, actually, you're right. The result is...
So
number 3, Holly.
Well done.
there's a job at Scotland Yard.
Well done, you're in.
Do you know why? Because his eyes slipped down.
Yeah, exactly.
very
So you
good.
focused on the eyes. But if you can think about how difficult it is...
Am I in? Have I got a job?
Get this one right.
Is there another one?
Well, Christine Blakely is doing the show on Monday because you're not here.
Yeah.
She's sitting just on the other side of the studio because she thought she'd come in today just to see how the whole thing
Did you get
worked.
that?
Are you getting any of them? No. If you get the job in the police now, clear off, because she's here.
Perfect.
But you know, one of the things we were talking about with Dr. Josh is about ethnicity, and is there a difference?
Yeah.
Because I think that can also be quite difficult.
Yes.
Do you want to explain that?
Yes, some people, well, most people find it difficult to recognise people from other ethnicities, and yet some of the super recognisers who are white are actually excellent at identifying black criminals, like the guy there. Can I just say also that the guys in the arrays are not criminals?
Thank them for their help.
We've got one more, haven't we?
Yeah.
Let's do this final test. I feel pressure now. Oh, that's harder. Okay.
All right.
Let's have a look at the next lot then. Without glasses.
I think he's number... yeah, I'm going to go 6. Either 6 or 1, but I'll go 6.
I think 6.
Well,
Excellent.
let's have a look then at the result.
Yeah.
Number 1's the first one.
You got,
Yeah.
3 out of...
Number 3 and 6 are very alike, though, aren't they? Imagine how hard it is. And I think when you're on a jury,
feel
when
really
people are
proud
trying
of
to
myself.
confuse
You've done really
people,
well.
you've done really, really well. And I hope you never have to put it to the test, because it is difficult, isn't it? It is tremendously difficult.
Really interesting. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, if you have any information on the cases that we featured today, you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111, and